transferring a design onto clay. So I have a slab. I used slab sticks and a roller to make it a consistent thickness, and I have a design. I'm just going to trim off the excess paper around my design, and then I'm going to cut my slab to be closer to the size of the actual design. So first things first, I cut off the extra paper. And then after I transfer my design, I'm going to be using glaze. So I'm going to put down my glaze paper underneath me. And so now I am going to put my design face down so it's the proper direction. And I'm tracing around it, giving myself a little bit of room. I'm going to cut it tighter once I put the design onto it. Next, I need a water-based marker. You're going to notice I just have a Crayola and I have the finer point Crayola to make it easier to draw on the lines. And I'm just going to trace around it. The key here is that it's not a permanent marker. It is a water-based marker. And so I'm just going to travel, and I have sped up the video. You will take your time to try to get your lines drawn nicely. And so just draw every single line. The beautiful part about this water-based marker is that any mistakes would be burned off in the kiln, so you don't have to worry if you kind of go off the line and have to redraw something. It would easily just burn off in the kiln, and then you would only paint in the areas that you actually wanted. All right, so I finished drawing in all my lines. Next step is I just flip it over, and then I press it onto the clay. And I'm going to take my time. It's about 2 minutes worth of rubbing. I didn't add any water. I didn't have any extra tools for rubbing. It's not like any underglaze transfers we do. This one goes much faster, much easier. So the biggest thing here is just to make sure that you do rub over every line that you've drawn with the marker, just to give it a chance to contact with the clay and have a little bit of the moisture from the clay seep through. I did not add extra water to that clay. I don't want it to kind of bleed. And I pull it back, and I've got a nice transfer of my line work. Now would be the time, if you haven't already done so, to plan out your glaze colors. So you would go get your sketchbook, you would create yourself a key of the colors that you plan to use, and then you would figure out for your design what colors go where. Prior to glazing, you can trim out around the edge of your design to make it more the specific shape. We will be glazing this in its greenware state, and so we'll talk about some glazing choices and some glazing techniques before we actually start the glaze process. But get it cut out. Don't let it get too dry. As always, good luck and enjoy the process.